I want kids because
We don't want kids because
I want kids because
I don't want kids because
I want kids because
I don't want kids because
I don't want kids because I don't want children because they are evil parasites and should all be destroyed.
People that don't want kids are gonna miss out, but if they don't want kids, they probably wouldn't be good parents. So maybe it's all for a reason. Like my boss hates kids. He walked by a playground and said somebody should bomb it. Therefore, I think that him and his wife should never have children.
I'm sure there's some kids who may seem annoying or a little bothersome, but they're kids. What do you expect? They'll grow out of it eventually.
I love babies. I'm one of those stupid people when a baby walks by and you're like, oh my god, it's so cute, I want to hold it. And you know, you make the stupid googly faces and talk like you never talked before.
the love that you have for something that you created is completely different. I can't put it into words why I want kids. I want kids. That's all I know is I want kids. I don't know why. I just want kids.
How could you not want something that just loves you unconditionally? Something that you could mold and you could make and, I don't know, something that could help the whole world and you can have a part of that.
I personally do want to be a father so that I could somehow just have a kid of my own. So I can teach him everything that I want him to know and know that somehow that generation's better than, well, mine.
I think being a parent and having kids is one of the most exciting and important things in a person's life because you get to teach them and give love to something that you created and just love something that you never thought you could love and show them how to do things, show them the right and wrong, and without kids there would be no tomorrow either. So I think that's one of the most important things about kids.
Because there's no better feeling than having a little child, a precious little life.
You see people buy like stuff and they say it's for their kid. Like my godmother, I watched her buy an Easy Bake Oven for her 3-month-old daughter. And I was like, it's not really for her. She can't even hold her head up, you know what I mean? But I want to buy everything. I want to buy all the dollhouses and all this stuff. That's really rad. I just realized it. That's going to cost a lot of money to have a kid. Yeah.
when you think about it, when you see kids these days, you kind of don't want to have any because they're all like shitheads, and it's tough because they're all so uncool right now because they're all trying to be adults, you know, by being sluts and basically jerks, calling people fags and being stupid, and it's tough, but like a good reason why to have kids is to make sure that they're not going to end up like the shitheads that the kids are right now.
The pros of having kids is knowing that when I get old, I'll have someone there to take care of me. The cons are kids are a pain in the butt, they're expensive, and they can be very demanding.
It's not actually children that I dislike at all. Like I actually like kids because they're fun and they actually have an imagination, which no adults do, and you know, they're idealistic and all of that good stuff. So I actually like being around kids a lot. I just don't want any of my own.
The cons for having children, I don't know, you don't have a lot of freedom and you lose a lot of sleep in the first couple of months, actually a couple of years, because they're always awake and crying and screaming and hungry and eating. So I definitely would think the sleep is a con, but other than that I can't really think of any other cons.
it's just not a really good time in our lives right now to think about children, and there's just a lot going on responsibility-wise that we'd want to focus more on our life first before we can even, think about having children.
They freak me out. I make really uncomfortable. I don't know how to talk to them. Like they're cute if they're not really loud and running all over the place. It's really, I think, the parents more that bother me more, that let their kids run around and act retarded and get into shit and just are really annoying. But they freak me out and I don't want any, ever.
I don't want kids because I'm pretty much just a kid myself. You know, I like to watch kids movies. They're my favorite genre of movie, and I like to, play kids games, and I like to do the things that kids do, really.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of cruel to bring another life into this horrible world.
they always seem like they'd be fun, you know, because they're all free-spirited and they, you know, have imaginations and all that, but when you really, you know, hang out with them, they're very stupid.
I think there are like 2 people that I know who I think should actually be allowed to reproduce. Everyone else, it just scares the shit out of me.
All these parents who, you know, live vicariously through their kids and they get to enjoy their old, you know, nostalgic stuff from when they were kids by showing it to their kids, but you don't really enjoy it the same way. It's not like you're getting to, you know, play around.
Children can be a great blessing, but they can also be a huge responsibility. And I think that, you know, anyone, gay or straight, thinking of having children should think about all that's involved with raising a child.
It would be easier just to, you know, go to the pound and get a puppy, and they love you more than a kid would love you, you know? And then, you know, they're around for like 14 years, maybe, and they're gone, and if you don't like them, you give them back, you get a new one, or you know.
Okay, you have a kid, right? Okay, it pops out. You have it for the next 20 years of your life. It's totally spent on this kid. You can't do anything you want. You want to go to the beach, you gotta lug the kid, get all the shit ready, get everything ready for the kid to make sure it's ready to go, unless you find somebody, you know, you have a permanent babysitter, which would be awesome, but not very many people do. So then you gotta like lug this kid around. You can't do anything you want anytime you want. And I would rather say, yeah, I want to be selfish or whatever you want to call it, and I don't want to have a kid and worry about it for the next 20 years of my life, than have a kid and totally resent it and pretend like everything's, you know, happy. Oh, it's so great, I have this kid, when really it's not happy, it's miserable.
So the kid comes out and there's loud crying and blood and pain and terribleness, which just fucking sounds like something from a horror movie, okay? Not some wonderful fucking gift from God. And then you have a child. And yeah, that's actually much worse than the 9 months of pregnancy, because then you have this constant little creature there asking you for things and crying and getting in your way while you're trying to do things and taking your money and taking your time and taking your entire life pretty much, until finally that child is old enough to move out, and he does, or she does, of course. And you're just sort of left sitting there wondering why the hell you just gave up 20 years of your life for something that is not really worth it.
Be afraid of the future for the kids and for yourself. Because when you bring a person into this world, you're technically responsible for them for the remainder of your life, and you have to do certain things with your life to be able to be there, fulfill things that you need to do for the kid themselves. So I guess fear is a good way, but you know, be excited about it. It's an exciting fear.
It felt good. I enjoyed becoming a mom for the first time. And the second and the third.
Being a new mom is the greatest feeling ever.
When I became a father that many years ago, I was scared to death. I thought, how could one person take care of another person and be responsible for them their entire lives?